The time to make a goal for the week is not at the start of the week, so we're actually making our weekly goals right now so that we have top-down alignment. I have this concept that I've called the time funnel. In question 3, you can Google a needs wheel. So it's all sorts of things that people need. Do you need time, like relationships? Do you need relaxation time? Hello, welcome to November planning. So this is going to be an exciting time of getting clarity. I love to feel organized and clear, like I know exactly what I'm doing, like I'm on top of everything, and I have never found any better system for doing that than planning. And so I just have a 2-part process here. It'll help us get in touch with the soul of our life, and it'll also help us get in touch with tasks and things that we need to do. So I have 3 steps about big goals and planning, and then I have 2 steps that'll help manage just general life organization, life management, task management. It's gonna be really easy. All you need is a notebook and a calendar of your choice. And if you want, grab a snack, grab a drink, get cozy, put on some music that you like. This is just gonna be a relaxing little self-care ritual so that we have some clarity for the month ahead. Okay, so you don't need to write this part down, but just by way of explanation, I have this concept that I've called the time funnel. That's a drawing of a funnel, not very good. But you take the different delineations of time. So you take the year, the quarter, the month, weeks, days, and hours. What I like to do is take a goal and kind of funnel it down through this funnel. So in this case, we are monthly planning. So we have this time funnel and it kind of chunks it down smaller and smaller chunks of time as you go throughout the year. At any given point, my planning process is the same, whether I want to do monthly planning or weekly planning or daily planning. Generally, as you're at the top of the funnel, yearly planning, that takes the longest. And as you get down to daily planning, it really just takes 5 minutes and it's really quick. So, but where we are right now currently is we are at monthly planning. So what I like to do is just 3 simple steps. So I start at the level I'm on. In this case, we're monthly planning. So look at the month. Then I go a level up for top-down alignment. That's okay if you haven't done this before. And then I go a level down to make sure that I've chunked my weeks. And if you do this at every level, it makes sure that your top level goals of the year get funneled down, 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 so you get down to the hours so you know exactly what you're gonna do. So we're gonna do this in the notebook, and we're gonna start with the level we're on. Okay, so this page is step 1. We are reflecting and reviewing the month that just happened. So we're monthly planning, so we're starting at the level we're on. So I just have 4 simple questions, and I actually took these from, it was like some marriage questions. Garrett and I actually ask each other these questions every week, but I found that they are really good review and reflection questions. 1 is just, how am I doing in the last month? How am I feeling lately? You can look up an emotions list if you Google emotions wheel if you want to be a little bit more specific, but it's kind of like the trend of how you've been feeling. So in the last month, how am I generally feeling? And then 2, what complaints do I need to air about the last month? One thing that I said in the planner that I made is I have this part where I mentioned that I believe the world would be a better place if more people threw fits on paper. Like if you could just be honest with yourself on paper, I think our relationships would be so much better. So just genuinely, what is not working? Being honest with ourselves is the start to being able to go forward. And then 3, what do I need this month? Based on, actually, if you Googled an emotions wheel in question 1, in question 3, you can Google a needs wheel. So it's all sorts of things that people need. Do you need time, like relationships? Do you need relaxation time? It's hundreds of things that are needs in different ways you can get those met. A lot of times it's a better way to jog your memory. And then 4, what are 10 things I'm proud of myself for? So looking back in November, what am I proud of myself for stepping out of the box, doing something new? This is a really good way to review and see how I'm doing. So now we're gonna go a level up and get a little bit more goal oriented. Now we're getting into the second step, which is to go a level up for top-down alignment. So if you've been following along with me, you probably did quarterly planning, but if this is your first time, maybe you didn't. Maybe you just set goals at the start of the year. At whatever point you at the top level did goal setting, you can just use that. So if you haven't done quarterly planning, that's fine. Use your like New Year's resolutions if you had those. So the first question is, at the start of the quarter, or if you didn't do quarterly planning at the start of the year, what did I say I wanted to do? So you're going a level up and making sure that you have top-down alignment. Then 2, is that still important to me? Do I need to reevaluate? Maybe I got off track. Maybe I said I wanted to post 52 YouTube videos this year, but I'm really off track for that. But maybe there's a way I can reevaluate and get back on track. What this is really good for is we set these high-level plans because it's like setting a wedding date. You need to have something to shoot for, but it's okay to still reevaluate progress as you go. And so 3, what is my goal this month based on top-down alignment? So what I've noticed a lot of people do is they will set monthly goals at the start of the month, but by the time the month comes around, it's already too late, especially if you have a really big goal like climbing Mount Everest, for example. You wouldn't plan what you're gonna do that day when you're already halfway up Mount Everest. You know, before you get up the mountain, you make your plans, and you will have to reevaluate if things go wrong or whatever, but you have to have a blueprint and a starting point for as you're going up that mountain. So in the same way, I do not like to make monthly goals at the start of the month. So for me, at quarter quarterly planning, that's when I made my monthly goals. So here I would go back up and I would say, okay, when I planned the quarter, I had goals for October, November, and December. And I said that in November, I wanted to post 8 YouTube videos. So I'm going to stick to that goal or an equivalent and do that. Now, if you ever get off track and something's not resonating with you, feel free to change your goal along the way, but don't change it because you're feeling insecure or you're feeling bad about yourself. You know, that nudge is not going to go away. And even if moments of insecurity make you feel like, I want to get off track of this goal, still stick with it. And if you're feeling good and you really feel like, this goal doesn't resonate with me, then it's fine. But don't make any big decisions during moments of insecurity. Okay, so what is my goal this month based on top-down alignment? You know, if I want to get back on the bandwagon, maybe it's like, okay, I said at the start of the quarter, I wanted to post 8 YouTube videos this month. I'm going to stick with that top-down alignment and I'm going to post 8 YouTube videos this month. So then we get to the third step of the goal planning part, and I'll get to the task management part in a second. But now we're going a level down to chunking out our weeks because, like I said, the time to make a goal for the week is not at the start of the week. So we're actually making our weekly goals right now so that we have top-down alignment. So what I'm going to do is just rewrite my November goal, whatever that is. So make sure it has numbers in it. Maybe you wanted to post 8 YouTube videos or you wanted to paint 12 paintings, whatever it is. So you're right, you want to have 8 videos posted, let's say. So then what we're going to do is we're going to chunk our weeks. What do I need to do each week to have progress then? November happens to have 4 weeks, so I've labeled it week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. And so I might say if I want to do it evenly, I want to do 2 videos a week. Or a lot of times that first week is really the hardest because there's a lot of insecurity, maybe your standards are too high, there's this perfectionism. So I would just say if you're starting something new, week 1, your goal is just, I'm going to post the worst video of all time. And maybe you just do 1. Start off slow and then get higher. So week 1, terrible video, the worst video in the history of YouTube. And maybe the next week you do 2 videos. Maybe the next week you also do 2 videos. And then the final week you do 3 videos. This gives you a goal. It gives you benchmarks like climbing up Mount Everest. You need to know, okay, I just need to make it to this base camp. I need to make it to this camp. The next day I need to make it to this camp. And like climbing Mount Everest, there's things that are going to go wrong. And so you can reevaluate as time goes, but you still need to have a plan as you're embarking. Okay, so like I said, you will need a calendar. So this is the one I made, but you can just use any calendar you want. So in my planner, I actually do have a space for the results that you want at the end of each week. But if I were you, a lot of calendars right here, they have just a notes column. So you can write down, okay, these are my goals for the week. What I like to do when I have a calendar is I consider the monthly spread the monthly messy dashboard. What I do is anytime I think of any task, an event, an appointment, or a task, to-do list type things, it all goes in one spot. So I don't have floating to-do lists. I put everything in the calendar. So this gets really messy, a lot of things going on. But if you're not in the habit of doing this, I would Google getting things done trigger list. I'll put that on the screen and just go down this list and it will trigger things. So you might get to the technology section and you realize, oh, I need to buy a new charger. Or you get to the birthday section and you realize, oh, so-and-so's birthday is coming up and I need to buy them a present. So you write both of those things on the calendar, all of the tasks associated with it. And then this gets completely filled up. So I like to do that every month. Look at that getting things done, making sure that your mind is clear. Get all the tasks out on paper, put them on the monthly spread. And what I like to do is keep the weekly spread blank. I don't put anything there yet until I get to weekly planning. So anytime I think of something, it all gets dumped on the messy dashboard. Events will get changed, things will be crossed off. But then when I get to weekly planning, I can turn the page and I just look at all the things that were for that week, including the big goal, including the big weekly result and any tasks, any appointments, and then I can beautify them and put them here. Things might have gotten changed, but usually by the time you get to the week, things have kind of shaken out and you can kind of beautify it, have a little ritual. I like to do it on Sunday evening. And then finally, what I like to do is, in addition to listening to the amazing things that happened last month, I like to make a bucket list. I love to make bucket lists on a seasonal basis, like a fall bucket list, winter bucket list. So I would say November, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I'd say November is pretty much nearing the end of the fall bucket list. So if there's anything you want to do in the remainder of fall, I would just list those and add them to the calendar. So maybe there's something you want to do, like maybe you want to visit a pumpkin patch, but you don't know exactly when you want to do it. So you might say, okay, I don't know where to put this on the calendar. What I do is if I know the day I want to do something, I write it on that day. If I know the week I want to do something, but I don't know the day, I just write it at the start of that week. If I only know the month I want to do something, but I don't know which week, I write it at the start of that week. So it's kind of like cooking. If they say cook something for 10 to 15 minutes, you do it on the earlier end, like as early as you would need to know. So that's what I would do. So that's pretty much the steps of planning. It's kind of like the 3 steps of goal planning and then 2 steps for kind of task management and bucket list. I hope that you feel a lot more clear, ready for November. It's going to be a great month.